Good morning. Welcome to the Colorado Railroad Museum. Basically, we're going to make 3 complete loops around the track. Please remain seated during those 3 loops. After the last loop, you hear 1 long whistle blast. At that point in time, you can go ahead and get off the train. Got the chain? What you're riding on today is a unique Colorado piece of narrow gauge history called the Galloping Goose. The Galloping Goose was originally built by the Rio Grande Southern, and the Rio Grande Southern Railroad was originally built in the late 1880s. Its primary purpose was to haul ore from mines above the towns of Silverton and Durango down onto the smelters into Durango. That was built approximately 1880 in that vicinity. Anyway, when the railroad first started out, it was all steam powered, and that was very expensive to run. In the 1920s, they was having a very difficult financial time with the finances, so something had to be done. The shop crew came up with an idea. At that point in time, in 29, they got a Buick Master 6 sedan, brought it into the shop, stripped off rubber tires, put flags, middle wheels on it, and built a wooden box on the back of it to haul freight and mail. It was very successful and it worked very well. It was much more economical than the steam locomotive, as steam locomotives could afford to operate the train. The next problem the railroad had was the Great Depression. Because of the success of the automobile on rails, once again the shop crew went back to Denver. They purchased 6 more automobiles and did the same thing. They put a wooden platform on the back with straight chairs and passengers able to ride in front. Galloping geese were important to the towns along southwestern Colorado for several reasons. Originally, the roads in the southwestern Colorado were very rough, and it took a long time for a car or a Model T to go on these roads. It was very difficult. The railroad provided them a basic means of transportation for people to get around. You could go get groceries, you could go and visit your neighbor, you could ship packages. And it was really a great way to get around and provided a way for people to go and visit your neighbor or whatever. Anyway, the Galloping Goose you're riding in today was built in 1936. This is Galloping Goose number 7. This Galloping Goose was unique because it has an all-wooden body and it held up much better in the Colorado winters. But the rest of the geese had all metal bodies, and they tend to rust out fairly quickly. As I had mentioned, the railroad had obtained a significant postal contract that helped the railroad survive the difficult times of the 1930s. Unfortunately, in 1949, the post office, canceled the contract. They gave it to the trucking industry. Once again, that spelled doom and gloom for the railroad, and once again, the shop crew had an idea. At that point in time, 6 existing geese that were running on the railroad, they brought 4 of them back into the shop and they put windows in the wooden boxes. And once again returned to Denver, they purchased streetcar geese, installed them in the geese, and turned them into tourist and sturgeon vehicles. These were popular for a couple of years. They were used for wildflower excursions, amphibian excursions, and all kinds of excursions. Unfortunately, in 1951, things began to change once again. The road conditions had improved in southwestern Colorado as well as the automobiles. Therefore, not that many people were riding the geese at that point in time, and the passenger traffic dropped off. Freight traffic at that point in time had dropped off very little as well. So, in 1951, the last thing the geese were used for, they were used for capital of the railroad. This time in 1951, the geese did go bankrupt for good. Coming up on the side of the track for Galloping in Colorado. This is where we do our restoration work at this museum, as we have a full machine shop inside. Inside the roundhouse we have locomotive number 20, which is just undergoing a restoration project. That'll be operational next Saturday and Sunday. Also, we have the largest narrow gauge locomotive in the western hemisphere, the roundhouse, locomotive 491. And also, locomotive 346 is sitting outside. As we come around the back of the roundhouse, you'll see a little lamp over a back door. You can go inside the back door and we have a viewing platform so you can see what's going on inside the roundhouse. Alright, you can walk around the front and view, but the gallery in the back is closed. Right now, we'll be passing by Cherry locomotives 12 and 14. These are basically all-wheel drive locomotives used primarily in the Pacific Northwest, but also at Georgetown Loop at one point in time, and also from the Gladstone Quarry up in Lawrence, Colorado. Stock cars are going back by now are 1880 vintage, and they used to haul a lot of sheep in the day. Behind locomotive 318 is locomotive 5771. That's off the Rio Grande Southern, California Zephyr ski train. On the inside of the loop is the Denver Garden Railway Society Outdoor Garden Railway. This is the first garden railway in the country and the largest in Colorado. Passing by a Union Pacific dining car, which we hope to restore, and eventually be serving full meals at the dining car. Coming up on the outside of the loop, you'll see locomotive 191. That's the oldest locomotive in the state of Colorado, as well as locomotive 5629. 5629, remember, between Denver and Chicago overnight at speeds at over 100 miles an hour. Up on the hillside, the black and white piece of equipment that's just floating on, that's a rotary snowplow. Open up the lines on the snow Right now we'll be passing by a turntable with two long wooden poles sticking out of it. It's called non-strong turntable. If you position a piece of equipment directly in the middle of it, it's perfectly balanced. One person can push on a pole and turn the turntable by themselves. You do run steam locomotives out here at the museum because of the virus issue. We're trying to put the kibosh on that as we've had to limit how many people we run trains with. So if we're allowed to, we're going to be running the Polar Express this year. That will be I think it's the first weekend in November. It goes till the first weekend before Christmas. So watch the website ColoradoRailroadMuseum.org for information on the Polar Express. I'm pretty sure the tickets will go on sale the first week in August, and will probably sell out within 2 to 3 days. Also, we hope to have Thomas out here in September. So watch the website for information on Thomas the Tank Engine, and he'll be out here the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th weekend in September. Also, on the outside of the track, you'll see a water tank. We're going to be passing by that curve shortly. This is an actual working water tank with 11,000 gallons of water inside the water tank. We use this for our steam locomotives. As we're coming to a stop here, on the inside of the track is the Richardson Library. Inside the Richardson Library, all kinds of land deeds, title maps, documents, so on and so forth, that are still currently accessed by some of today's railroads. Also inside the library, we have schematic drawings and manuals of how to fix locomotives, so on and so forth. We would like to thank you for riding with us today, and we hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend.